It's always nice to see who's working here today. Would you please raise your hand if this is your first time at Vernon? First time you've ever been to a service here. And we thank you very much, and we hope that this isn't your last time here. We hope this is a meaningful experience for you. Would you raise your hand now if you were baptized, confirmed, married, here? Would you raise your hand? A few more of us, huh? Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming back. It's been really fun this week to see the whole church service come together, not only in the body of the service, but also in the building too, and how it's just really come to life. The whole Vernon committee's been working very hard, and we thank you for joining us today once again. Communion today is going to be a little bit of a hybrid version, following the instructions of the ushers, and they'll help you. You can either come up here and receive communion up here, or you can also receive an individual one at the pew, completely up to you. Up here is going to be wine for the first 53. Don't bring your ass up here. And then also grape juice for those of us who would like that, or if that's all that's left. We miscalculated there just a little bit. In the back, there's a little basket, and also down in the basement, there's a basket. If you would care to give an offering today, we use it solely for the upkeep of the building and for our expenses, so we can do this from year to year. In that same breath, I'd like to remind you that the church is available for events, for baptisms, or weddings, funerals, receptions, reunions, anything you'd like to use the building for. So contact one of us on the committee if you have a need for out here at Vernon. I have been downstairs, and I promise you there's enough food to feed an army, and I think I counted 16 different kinds of pies down there. So the meringue is really good for breakfast. And Carol's going to help us. Carol, raise your hand. She's going to help us. She's going to help us go down during the recessional. So we're going to go down here to the front and then just proceed to the basement. Following the dinner and fellowship downstairs, we have pay rides that are administered at 12:45. So hopefully you will all stick around and have a tour of the countryside just a little bit, and we'll just keep doing those until we run out of people. So I think I've exhausted my time here. So now we'll have Kathy to lead us in the prayer of the day.
Would you join me in praying the prayer of the day? Lord, thank you for walking with us through the season of our lives. For the winter, we are held safe in your arms through the darkness. For the hope of spring, as we are filled with new promise of life. For summertime, full of warmth and color. And for autumn days, as the leaves fall to seed new growth. You are always with us. Amen.
Good morning. The first lesson comes from the book of Ecclesiastes, 3rd chapter, beginning with the first verse. For everything there is a season, and a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born, and a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill, and a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance, a time to throw away stones, and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek, and a time to lose, a time to keep, and a time to throw away, a time to tear, and a time to sow, a time to keep silence, and a time to speak, a time to love, and a time to hate, a time for war, and a time for peace.
Let us read responsibly Psalm 67. May God be gracious to us and bless us. And make his face shine upon earth.
Your saving power among all nations.
Let the peoples praise you, O God.
Let all the people praise you.
Let the nations be glad and sing for joy.
For you judge the peoples correctly and guide the nations on earth.
Let the peoples praise you, O God.
Let all the people praise you.
The earth has yielded its increase. May God continue to bless us.
Let all the ends of the earth revere him.
The second lesson is from 2 Corinthians 9, 6 through 15. The point is this: the one who sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and the one who sows bountifully will also reap bountifully. Each of you must have made up your minds, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. And God is able to provide you with every blessing in abundance, so that by always having enough of everything, you may share abundantly in every good work. As it is written, He scatters abroad, He gives to the poor, His righteousness endures forever. He who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food will supply and multiply your seed for sowing and increase the harvest of your righteousness. You will be enriched in every way for your great generosity, which will produce thanksgiving to God through us. For the rendering of this ministry not only supplies the needs of the saints, but also overflows with many thanksgivings to God. Through the testing of this ministry, you glorify God by your obedience to the confession of the gospel of Christ, and by the generosity of your sharing with them and with all others. While they long for you and pray for you because of the surpassing grace of God that He has given to you. Thanks be to God for His indescribable gift. Here ends the reading.
You will
super Lutheran. I'll ask those of you that can stand for the reading of the gospel. Today's gospel is from Matthew chapter 9. It's verses 35 to 30. Then Jesus went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues and proclaiming the good news of the kingdom, and curing every disease and every sickness. When he saw the crowds, he had compassion for them, because they were harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd. Then he said to his disciples, "The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore ask the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into his harvest."
When you have the young children come forward and they like good. Those are ones you can. Sit out here, that's fine. Or the steps. Either place. Sit wherever you feel comfortable. Good morning. How y'all doing? Great. I'm glad to hear that. Have you ever been asked to clean up your room or to help your dad clean your shop or you know, something like that? You have? Did you find it a mess when you went in there first to clean it? Did you look at it and say, I don't know where to start? Yeah, you just want to give up, right? Yeah, some people are good at letting clutter sit around for a while, right? Well, Jesus came into a situation where he found the task that he had to do was bigger than he could really handle. All these people who were sick were coming to him. All these people had problems were coming to him. There's a big crowd of people. He said, my goodness, more than I can do. So who did he ask to help him?
God.
Yeah, and?
God helped.
God helped him, but also used who? His disciples. Oh, his followers. People that were there. He sent them out to heal too. To work with him at that, okay? So sometimes we see these big tasks ahead of us. It's good to ask other people and to have them help us, okay? But it's always smart to go out and to clean things up, you know? How many of you here know somebody that used to be a friend that was kind of alone? How many know somebody that can use some food? Okay, need some clothes? Or just help with schoolwork? Yeah? Or do you know somebody that can help get some help with dishes? Your mom? Oh, okay. Some people are what we call sink filers. You know, they just put everything in the sink. And then once in a while, the pile gets so high. Right. Or else they won't roll the dishwasher, right? Yeah. Sometimes they need a little help too. But you know, the hardest of all of that is we can make it clean and put it in order. Okay? So don't be afraid to ask people to help you, and don't be afraid to remember that we do it for a reason. And that's to help Jesus meet the needs of people. Okay? Here, we got something for you today. Alright? You go back and have a few days, alright? You get that. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You all have a good day, okay? You can go back to your seats now.